And on Wednesday, August 23rd, and don't you dare.
What?
It's episode 272 of the 359 podcast, and holy crap, it's been a busy day. Ben Fox Rubin, Roger Cheng, and Alfred Eng.
Hello, everyone.
Hey. How are we hanging in there, guys?
Here for this late episode. We're doing great. I mean, I just got back from the Samsung event a few hours ago. Jazz pumped.
Yeah.
So I've checked out the latest and greatest from Samsung.
And we're going to mine you for a variety of
yes,
questions.
I will play the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 Expert today. We will have Jessica Dulcourt on tomorrow for even more Q&A. But for now, I'm going to try. I got the full lowdown on the phone. Got to check it out. Got to try it. It's a good phone. It's a good phone.
Let's save some of that for the podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
As usual, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section. Brian will pick up the best. And we'll get to them in 3 minutes and 59 seconds.
From 3, 2.
Welcome to the 359. I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
I'm Roger Cheng.
I'm Alfred Eng.
All right, so today was a pretty big day in the world of phones. Samsung came out with the Galaxy Note 8, hopefully a redemption to the Note 7, which was an unrepentant disaster.
Wait,
That's
really?
not true.
What was the Note 7?
That's
It
not
was
true.
just- it
The
wasn't a
Note
very
7
good
was a
phone.
great phone.
It was just an okay phone. No,
was
the
an okay
reviews were
phone.
great. I didn't know what you guys were talking
All
about.
right, so Roger, you were at the event today.
Yep.
Tell us a bit about it. I'm curious, like, what was the feel there? Like, what was it? Was there a lot of enthusiasm in the crowd? Were there a lot of feelings? When they
Were there a lot of fire
there were a
extinguishers?
lot of feelings. People felt things.
there were a lot of fire
There were no
extinguishers.
Jeez, dude.
Of course, there were fire.
I mean, there were
extinguishers.
per like the city's
Yeah,
safety
it's like
code.
It's a safety violation thing.
All right.
if they
Yeah.
didn't.
Anyways, but they weren't there because of the phone. They were there because
I never said it was because of
it
the
was at the
phone.
historic Park Avenue Armory in the Upper East Side. So I'll give you a feel of the vibe there. It was a lot of energy, a lot of excitement, partly because they packed the room with a ton of Note customers, Note loyalists, who were
Smart move.
super jazzed about getting a Note 8 finally, right?
Right.
So, they right off the bat, I mean, to their credit, Samsung addressed the issue. I mean, they didn't really refer to the Note 7 by name or anything, but they talked about.
They had that long.
They had
video
the long video where
with
they
all
showed
these feelings.
they showed
Basically, last
clips.
year's disappointment.
Right, they showed clips of Note loyalists who were disappointed, who were frustrated, having to give the phone up, having had to deal with this whole issue. But they quickly spun it as, well, these Note customers they were disappointed back then, but they're still sticking with Samsung. And Samsung was very much like, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Note customers, for keeping this alive. You're the reason it's still going on.
From a marketing perspective, I thought it was very effective.
Yeah, and
I thought they did a good job.
It
spinning
actually,
that.
I mean, the mobile president, DJ Ko, was surprisingly sincere. He bowed a couple times when he said thank you. He did sound sincere about it. And I feel like Samsung is genuinely, obviously, they're sorry the whole thing even happened.
My expectation going into it was they were going to let the Note 7 be in the rearview mirror.
Right.
My mea culpa here that I was wrong about that,
was
and
a pretty-
they really addressed it pretty head on.
Yeah, that was like the first thing they talked about.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a meaty,
I've
it
been
was a
wrong
meaty,
before.
meaty apology. I do respect them for that.
All right, so let's get to the technology.
Yeah.
I feel like the Note 8, they played it safe a little bit. That's kind of expected because the
Yeah.
Note 7 was a pretty big failure. What are the big things that people are going to be looking for to be excited about the phone? Is it the dual camera, the S Pen?
Yeah, I would say the dual camera is the big new feature. Basically they're following iPhone and even LG in terms of adding multiple cameras. And the implementation is very similar to what the iPhone 7 Plus is. There's a standard wide angle lens, and then there's more of a telescopic 2x zoom lens. And it allows you to do those portrait mode like photos, right? The ones with the bokeh effect, where it's blurry in the background, sharp in the foreground.
Ooh la la.
Yeah. I mean, the one cool thing, though, that they did that tops what Apple has is it allows you to adjust the blurring effect. Like you can make it, subtle, or you can make it fully blurry in the background, I mean. And you can do it both before and after you shoot the photo, which is kind of awesome. Kind of like I don't know if you guys remember, there's a camera called Lytro back in the day. No one bought it, but it was...
But it was great.
No, it pioneered this technology that allowed you to switch the focus switch the focal point of the photo even after you've taken the shot.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It was
thing.
this
It was
weird
like a
cube
shape.
thing. Yeah, it was a really weird thing. No one ever bought it, but the technology was really sound. Like that idea was kind of cool. Like I told my wife about it. She immediately was like, "Wow, that's a feature I would actually care about
So was there like a big like whoa moment from this event that you had seen?
No.
Yeah, because it seemed like a lot
Yeah.
of things while I was watching is here's the DeX. We showed this during the SA.
Yeah.
Here's the larger screen.
Yep.
We also kind of showed this during the SA.
Here's
It's just-
Bixby.
We
It's the
showed
same
this during
thing.
the SA. So
Yeah.
I think they pulled out all the stops with the Galaxy SA because I think they knew they needed to wow everyone. They needed to sort of get people back in their good graces with the Galaxy S8. And I think most of those innovations went into that phone. And the Note 8 is really it's a bigger phone. It's got an S Pen, and it's got the dual camera thing, and that's basically it. Like there aren't a huge amount of other breakthroughs there. But you have to keep in mind that they're serving a fairly specific market of Note customers, and the Note customers haven't had a good phone in 2 years, right? They haven't had a good Note phone in 2 years because those Note 7 customers lost their phone. They ended up getting an S7 or kept their Note 5. So for them, this is a huge, huge upgrade, right? Because the Note 7 was already a fairly polished phone, but they couldn't get it. So they've got the Note 8.
All right, so you're hands-on after the event.
Yep.
Tell us what you thought.
Look, it's a nice phone. It's fairly expensive. It's like $930 to $960.
yeah,
Yikes.
depending on
the
the carrier.
Yeah, that's pretty pricey.
Yeah. Wait for that iPhone
I know.
announcement.
Well, maybe if you
when
had
they're
it-
going to hit 4 figures.
I'm just saying, maybe if you had a Galaxy Note 7, though, you're gonna get the phone for like nearly half off. So
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wrote about that. Tell
yeah,
me
they're
about
basically
the
giving
discount
you
program.
this is only through Samsung.com for now.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to find out if carriers are also providing this, but if you were a Galaxy Note 7 owner, which about 3 million people were,
Right.
you can get up to $425 off by trading in your current phone.
Cha-ching.
Yep.
There you go.
Not bad.
Which,
All right.
I mean, that's like half the phone, pretty much.
Should we? All right. I don't know how much time we went, but I feel like it's more than 3 minutes and 59 seconds. So I'm going to call it a day. If you want to read more about these stories, we've got a ton about the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 coming out. It's already on the site and coming soon. So that's about it. Check us out. I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
I'm Roger Cheng.
I'm Alfred Eng.
Thanks for listening.
All right, so and that's the $930 to $960. That counts for unlocked as well, too, correct?
Yes. No, the unlocked is $970, I believe.
For unlocked would be straight from Samsung, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They announced the pricing a bit earlier today. I don't think it
I just-
passes 960.
Does
No,
any
I just saw the
version-
price.
Does any
yeah,
version
are
hit
you
1,000?
looking at the
Just to double check.
929.
Sorry, you're right. 929. But there are a lot of numbers. I got them all mixed up.
I
So
haven't seen
929.
the highest
930,
I've seen is 960 from Verizon though.
I think it's Verizon and Sprint.
Okay.
I believe Sprint has the same price.
Okay.
Oh, and
But-
we should have mentioned this earlier. In stores September 15th.
September
Yes.
15th. Yeah.
They didn't say exactly when pre-orders would begin, right?
August 24th.
Oh, then there they go. They said a couple of
Tomorrow.
At the event. They just said in a few days, which was really ambiguous.
That
Yeah.
sounds about
You're
right.
Pre-orders for the unlocked phones start August 24th, but they didn't say necessarily when that would happen with the carriers. Right?
And they also, during the Bixby presentation, I was paying special attention because,
Yeah.
I write about voice assistants a lot. They really did try to emphasize the fact that, like, look, we have a Bixby button and it does something.
It works.
And it's actually useful
Well, you know
for
what,
things.
that-
I mean,
Actually,
to
I
be
was
fair, though,
kind of
like,
in-
yeah. Most of the times people look at voice assistants and they don't do much. So for
True.
them to do that, yeah.
I have
Yeah.
to admit the demonstration that they showed was kind of cool. Like
It was.
the
but it's
good
a
night
demo
mode.
on the stage.
Totally. We don't
this
know
is-
if
this
it
is
actually
very
works.
specific use.
But I like the idea that you could bundle together different commands for your phone. Like if you say good night, it'll set your alarm clock, it'll go to do not disturb, and it'll switch to blue light all without you
Right.
thinking about it, right?
The thing that I like is that there are so many voice assistants out now from so many different companies that there really is there are these new features that are starting to crop up in other places that aren't just Alexa or aren't just
I
Siri.
feel like that voice command feature is taking like a big page out of like Tasker though, where it'll like if you're in a certain area, it'll do like multiple commands like automatically on its own.
Or like if then, or if this, then that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking is
Yeah.
if this, then that.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
it's
I-
not something I might use necessarily on the frequent, but it's still kind of a cool concept, I
It's
think.
a good thing to copy, but I'm just curious if you can custom them on your own. Like if I wanted to do good night and I wanted to play like a certain song or
Yes,
something
I
like
think
that.
they said you can do custom commands.
Okay,
that
that's
was the
cool.
whole deal. Yeah.
And then if there's like a list of like things that you could do that it comes with already, because like with the Alexa, there's like so many like skills that I don't know that it can do.
Oh yeah.
I'd be interested if Samsung like provides a list like here's like the packaged like commands that we have for Bixby.
I mean, don't you get the emails every week like, what's new with Alexa? Here's some suggested new
Yeah,
tricks.
but who reads
and-
them?
Yeah,
I
actually
don't read
do.
them that
Oh, okay.
much.
like
I should read them
if
more.
there's something like
All right,
Bixby.
why don't we take some questions?
We should take some questions. First up, Mad Mike in the chat was asking, why no stereo speakers?
Oh, that's a really good question. I mean, I think basically they jammed in a giant screen with very little frame in the front. I mean, they have a lot of components, and I imagine speakers. That I guess that was kind of low on the priority list.
The
There are
speakers
speakers.
fit in the bottom.
There are
right?
speakers there. They're not. I don't know if they're necessarily stereo, but there are speakers.
Yeah.
But it does have a headphone jack, which is kind of nice.
which
Which
was
I
on my
was-
wish list
I was
yesterday.
surprised
There you
by
go.
that. I'm very pleased.
Yeah, I forgot the S8 does.
You saw that tweet, right?
They called you out in the chat.
Yeah, I noticed
Yeah.
that. Sorry
Thank
about
you.
that.
Thank you,
Sorry about
Nubs.
that, guys.
Yeah.
Forgive us, we are human.
Yeah, it's a live show
For now.
We couldn't. For now, thanks. That's grim.
Right.
All right.
But the essential phone, if I remember correctly,
Does
does
not.
USB Type C, and you need a dongle for
Yeah.
that.
The essential
So
phone
there's-
does not have a headphone jack.
There's obviously some switching that's going on.
There is.
We all know which
We're gonna-
direction Apple has gone.
We're
in.
gonna find out who's on the right side of history eventually.
Yeah, I mean, like the right side of history in my regard is you keep the headphone jack. Otherwise, you're going to be really, really disappointed anytime you take a flight and forget your dongle. But
No, that's true. Except
But like,
that didn't stop Apple from doing it. People don't care.
they're courageous. Everybody knows that.
Why don't we take more questions?
Roger, if it makes you feel any better,
Sorry. We have other podcasters.
Yeah.
nearby.
congratulations to whoever's playing Super Mario Sunshine over at giantbomb.com right now.
Nice.
is that what they're
Shout
playing?
out
They
to
are
our
playing Super
sister
Mario
publication.
Sunshine.
It's one of the best GameCube games. But
I know for a fact that that's what they're playing today.
Awesome.
Bye, everybody. Roger, if it makes you feel any better, yesterday screwed up the date.
Oh well, yeah. There's that too.
Incredible podcast, everybody. Lawrence in the chat says, I think we brushed on this briefly, but maybe we want to revisit it real
Sure.
quick. I heard that people who once owned the Note 7 get a discount on the Note 8. Does anybody know if that's true? What was the price point again?
What was the discount?
you can get up to $425 by trading in your current phone. You don't need to trade in your Note 7.
Right,
just so
because you don't
everyone
have
knows
your
this.
Note 7.
Or you're
so-
not supposed to.
But also, just to be
But
clear,
we
this
have
is-
heard from Note 7
Wait.
people that still have them.
Just to be clear, this is directly through Samsung.com and not through the carriers. At least we're trying to confirm whether the carriers are doing something. But
The carriers do have their own deals.
they do have their own deals, but a lot
But
of them are
there's-
just monthly installment plans.
A lot
or
of them
trade-in
are
programs.
nothing so far set in stone for previous Note 7 owners is
Right,
the thing.
right.
And we're still trying to figure out from Samsung like how do you verify like if
Yeah.
you were a previous Note 7 owner. Like what's stopping me from just going like, hey, I had a Note 7. Let me get this phone for like half off. But yeah, you can get up to $425, which is nearly half of.
I would say you presumably would be registering these products online.
How though?
I register for my Samsung.
You register your phone?
Yeah, you can.
I don't.
I mean, I
I
registered
didn't know
my
about that either.
Yeah.
like I registered my refrigerator
Who do you register it with?
online with
The
Samsung.
manufacturer.
With the
Samsung.com or Samsung
You do
something.
that. So like with your iPhone, like when you buy it, you register that.
well,
with, like,
dude, with your iPhone, you register through iCloud.
okay.
So yeah, you're registering your phone.
All right. Okay.
Lawrence asks, where do I have to go to get that discount?
Samsung.com.
Samsung.com.
Yeah, it should be on their
.com.
pre-order page when it's available
Yep.
tomorrow.
And we might be helping him achieve something that might not be so savory, but if he bought it secondhand from a friend, no,
You'd have to be a previous.
You
like,
have
you'd
to-
have to be a Note 7 owner.
an actual
already. Yeah, because
registered owner.
if you buy one now, it's not like it's gonna be right. Like if you're. If
Well,
they're
you couldn't
ve-
buy one now.
Yeah,
Or
but
do you mean the new refurbished
yeah,
ones?
if they're verifying it off of like registration stuff, I'm sure there's like a date attached to it somewhere.
Right. I don't. I'm sure they've found some way to track you because they're Samsung. That's a big company.
So let's go right down the line and everybody give their top takeaway from the presentation today. What was your favorite feature that got highlighted? And then we'll kind of cross-check it with some of the fans in the chat.
Yeah.
For me, it was, in fact, that Bixby custom command. What was it called again? I'm
Just Bixby.
It was just
No, no, no.
customized. It was
Wasn't
customized
it-
commands. They didn't give it like
Didn't they
some
call it-
fancy
Don't they always
name.
give
Quick
it some
command or something?
quick
Or-
command? Was
Maybe.
that it?
I don't
That's
know.
possible.
I
That
think
would
we
make-
all know what I'm talking about, even though
Yeah.
I'm apparently an idiot. I thought that was neat. Again, not something I'd use on the regular, but it's something I'd experiment with as I myself am getting into like the smart home, the market per
Right.
se. I've got an Echo at home. I would mess with something like that, something that had like a tiered result, kind of like domino effect.
So our smart home team in Kentucky did show me that there are ways of doing this using HomeKit with your iPhone too. So it's not like they're the first ones to do it, but
Right.
I think that's getting simpler and simpler, so more folks can actually start utilizing these types of features.
mean-
So
I would say my favorite feature is the camera, of course, the live focus is what they call it. But the other feature is kind of nice is the screen off memo, the idea that you pull your S Pen out and you don't have to turn your phone on. You can start jotting notes on the screen of your Note 8.
You know what? I might have to take it back. That might be the best thing for me
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
if you guys know me, I've always got Sharpie notes written
Yes.
on my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of like, I need to do this for
And
CNET
you can
before
pin
I
the,
can eat.
You can pin the memo on that unlock
On your lock screen,
On the lock
yeah.
screen, exactly. So you've got like a grocery list, or you got to-do list. There it is.
I might have changed my mind. I think that's actually
That
the
is
highlight.
kinda
for
Yeah,
me.
if
and
they-
it works pretty well. I mean,
Yeah.
I tried it, and I was pretty impressed with
But
it.
what if somebody steals your phone and leaves you like dick pics on there?
That's
it could happen.
that's
I
why
mean-
it's my favorite feature.
Although, frankly, if they gave me my phone back just to give me the dick, I'll take the dick pic for my phone back. Like that's a small price to pay
Fair.
for not losing my $930 phone.
Like you leave it on the table in the kitchen, you go to the bathroom, you come back like
Dick pic.
wieners all over the.
Oh my God.
It's a society we built.
CNET after hours, baby.
Chris Wesley does agree with you about the dual cameras as well. So shout out to Chris Wesley in the
Hey,
chat.
yeah.
He agrees?
Yeah, he was also excited about the dual cameras. I think a lot of people, photography's become so ingrained in our day to day.
Oh,
The
yeah.
fact that they're really embracing that and the feature of the modified focus in post kind of thing.
Yeah.
That only became kind of prevalent a few years ago in like major commercial or prosumer type cameras. The fact that it's in your pocket now, that's pretty darn neat.
Did you recall during the beginning when they were showing off the camera, they're like, "Oh, we've developed some sensors that'll help you take better photos in low light."
Yeah, it's the
Those photos looked really cool.
they have because they have the two cameras, and I
Yeah.
think Apple makes kind of the same argument.
Yeah, but I'll believe it when I see it through our test because like those
Yeah.
are promotional shots.
They
and
never. I feel like
really-
the low light photos never turn out as well
exactly
as they promise.
Yeah,
The other thing that's kind of nice about those cameras, both cameras have optical image stabilization, like a mechanical one, which is a first for any filmmaker. It's kind of nice because most have it on one lens, but to have it on both is
It's that
yeah. I
kind of
saw that
feature.
comparison when they
Yeah.
did it with the video of the woman
Yeah,
on the boat, and
yeah,
it was
yeah.
like really shaky. I don't know if they shot it really shaky on the iPhone on purpose.
I always feel like I don't know, like they create scenarios that I think their phone is optimized for.
What?
So-
You don't do nighttime boat rides? What are you talking about?
It just looked like they shot it like this, where it's just like, look how stable the Samsung
So
is.
one of the features that I thought was cool that they kept referencing, maybe this wasn't my favorite one from it, but I did like how they made the S Pen just a little bit better, that you could use it more for drawing.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of cool. And
It's a little bit
they
more
used-
sensitive. There's a
Yeah.
little bit more. It's the level of pressure, different pressures that it senses is a lot wider than it was before. So it's it feels a lot more like an actual pencil or pen.
Did you know about this pen up community?
Yeah, vaguely. Like they keep touting this social network of note artists.
What's it called? Pen pineapple?
Pen up. Pen. No. Pen up. No.
Welcome to Pen Up, the worst show.
Anyways,
Alfred, did you have a favorite feature?
Yeah, it was the memo thing that you talked
memo.
about because
Alright.
like I love taking notes and
it was
stuff.
pretty clutch,
but
yeah.
is there a finite amount? Like, do you run out?
100 sheets.
100? Okay, I missed that part.
100 sheets.
I
You'll
could
be
use that
okay.
up in an
all
afternoon.
dick
I
pics.
know. Oh God, dude.
I really hope
What
my
if you
family
just
doesn't see
drew?
this.
What if you just drew one end and then just kept extending it through all 100 sheets up until the
Jeez,
end?
dude.
So it's like super long.
Sure.
All right, just stop, Alfred. Just stop.
We're getting some great props from Orlando in the chat. He says, I'm so glad that the note line is back and the pen I missed a lot. The camera's promising as well. Good job, Samsung. I think we can all kind of agree Samsung put on a pretty good show today.
Yeah, I mean they always put on a big spectacle. It's just-
I don't
Wait,
think this was a
let's
good
just
show.
Wait, though.
dude, I
No,
thought
no,
the show
beautiful.
itself was
I
great.
thought it was very boring. I mean,
Really?
I'm glad, like the phone's cool. It's like the product is really cool.
I-
There was no
honestly-
showmanship here.
See, I disagree. I feel like the floor, which I saw a year ago,
Yeah.
but still, the LED floor was like amazing. Like the way that the phone kind of shimmered along the floor beneath the executive, and then went back to the back screen. I was like, damn, that's pretty sweet.
I'm like, is
I
the
agree.
floor of the phone? Is that like because
I
they kept
thought,
talking? They kept
frankly-
talking about it's gonna be big. It's gonna be huge.
frankly, I thought the floor was more impressive than the phone. because the
That's how
forum
I
was
felt.
awesome.
That stage.
It was the stage was
Yeah, that was
awesome.
really cool.
I went up later on. It's like it's tiny little like LED dots, and then there's a plastic sheet over for protection. But it works to like simulate images and everything. It's
I
great.
thought it was really beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
it
just
was
want to say
definitely cool.
I appreciate their efficiency in their presentation after
It's
the
like
last
50 minutes.
Yeah, 50 minutes on the
Yeah.
note, in and out, nice and clean.
I
We
like
knew
that.
exactly what we
I-
were doing, not screwing around. The one DJ guy was a little awkward. Take
was
his
strange.
profile pic. I was like,
Oh yeah, that was really cringy.
yeah.
thanks, bro. Cool story. Your story's cool. But
I
otherwise,
guarantee you
it
that's
was
not even gonna be his
clean and
profile
efficient.
picture.
And coming from the dude who has to record the whole darn thing, that was nice. Thank you, Samsung.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be much longer. I like had cleared out my whole schedule.
They've
for
done
the
a good
day.
job of keeping them
Yeah.
more and more efficient over the years. I do appreciate that. Just the facts, and then move on to the demo area.
Amen to that. Let's get a couple more questions in before we call it a day.
Yeah.
Pamela says, do you think I should upgrade from an S8 Plus? And I am not a business user right now.
No,
Wait,
absolutely
really?
not.
For not price,
It's
that
only
price
for-
point? I
the
was gonna
Galaxy
ask.
S8 Plus. That's
That's a
like
very new
you
phone.
just
Oh, yeah, I
bought the
guess.
phone.
Yeah,
No.
but do you think that it's only for business users though?
No, but I think if you just bought like the most expensive possible phone before the Note 8 came out, like a few months ago, you're not.
Also,
you don't want to upgrade.
Like specs wise, it's not even that different.
no, it uses the same processor. It is like a tenth of an inch.
If you want like
Longer?
0.1,
Okay.
yeah,
It's 0.1 inches longer. And the stylus would be the only real differentiating factor at that point. And if you're not really into it, or if you're not used to using an S Pen, it's not really worth it.
Well,
unless
the
you want to
dual
join the
camera-
pen up community.
The dual camera is probably something that
Yes.
you would get, but
But-
it's not a huge
Yeah, and then
difference.
Bixby and Dex you would already get
already
on
have
your
that.
S8
Yeah.
Plus.
Right.
I recommend,
So I
holding
would
on
not.
to
I would
it.
not recommend upgrading. Like if you have a Note 5, if you have a Galaxy S7, yeah, maybe, and you want the bigger phone, you want the stylus, then yeah, that might be one you'd consider. But if you just bought an S8, it just doesn't seem to make sense to me.
If money isn't a concern for you though, then
True.
like,
If you're if you're
yeah.
loaded, go for it.
Yeah, and my Venmo is actually at
Roosevelt in the chat says this was a good strategy for Note for Samsung. It was a very safe release. They get through this with no hiccups, and then
Yeah.
expect more on the Note 9. A question from Anmol says, what about the guys who pre-booked the phone, but their orders were canceled and they purchased the S7 Plus as a replacement? I'm assuming he's
That's
asking if he's still entitled to...
for like a Note 7.
Yeah.
Oh no, I
Did,
can't imagine
did,
you.
did he get his money back for it when he like ordered it? I don't know. That's
he's
like
not... Yeah, I think he's looking to see if he can still scoop up that discount.
I don't.
I don't know.
You'd have to ask Samsung
Yeah.
about
You
that.
could,
Like,
I mean, you have.
you could make a case for
I feel like
it.
that's
have
one
a
of
leg
those
to
weird
stand
gray
on.
areas.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
You could make a case for it if you wanted to call Samsung up for sure, but I don't think it's as clean as if you had a Note 7 and had to return it.
Yeah.
So, elephant in the room before we wrap it up for the day. That price point, is that a make or break?
That's a break for me. I'm not rich.
Well, for me, sure, but I think the Note has always been more expensive.
Yeah, it
so
has been
that's-
traditionally a more expensive phone. I think the last year's version started at, I want to say like 8 something. Just a little bit more expensive. I don't know. If you're a Note fan, this is worth the money. This is like the latest and greatest in tech. Like,
A lot of people wanted to keep it for the stylus too. I remember when the
Right.
Note 7 recall happened. Most people were saying I can't do like phone things without a stylus.
which seems ridiculous to
Yeah,
me.
but I mean,
but whatever.
I think this will also take some of the pain out of the potential that Apple might face, or some of the blowback that Apple might face.
Yeah.
Because they're like third, really hot
Their rumored
model.
iPhone 8.
Yeah,
iPhone
it's
X.
supposed to be more than $1,000, maybe up to $1,400, something like that. So.
Right. If you think about the way they configure memory and options, like it could step up to $1,300-$1,400 easily. And I think, that's gonna be the new reality. People are gonna be forking over huge amounts of money for their phone.
Not me.
So, none of
Maybe
you guys...
me. I don't know. We'll see.
None of you guys here have the who's holding a Samsung phone presently?
I am.
You are.
I'm not.
And you're not going to make the upgrade, or are
Well,
you?
this is from CNET. CNET gave me this phone, or CBS Interactive.
Fair enough.
If they would want to give me the Note
No.
8,
It's not happening. Not happening.
Coming from the boss.
Yep. Sorry, buddy.
We're just wondering how, the people in the chat are saying, like, what would you do if you were in my shoes?
I do have an S6 Edge that is up for an upgrade, and I'm considering this, but I really want to wait for the Pixel 2. I think a lot of people are going to do that. They're going to wait for the Pixel 2 to see what happens.
And as a follow-up, everybody's asking, when's that Pixel 2 coming out? We have
I
nothing.
mean, if you kind of follow the calendar, right, it's going to be
it's like the eclipse. You can kind of predict when.
exactly. Exactly. But my guess, and this is completely a guess, is October.
We should actually make that. It should be like a CNET graphic project. Somebody puts together like a calendar tracking, like tarot card type prediction for tech releases. You think we could do that?
I mean, yeah, some of them work pretty much like clockwork. Like maybe a difference of a week or two. Like you could
Apples,
do that.
especially.
Yeah.
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 That's coming up very
Samsung's
soon.
too, really. Like
That's our next event, right?
Apple? Should be.
Appletober.
Well, we've got IFA next week, which is a Berlin Tech show.
right.
There's-
My bad.
We're
My
gonna
bad.
see some probably some wearables and some
Yeah, Samsung
other stuff
advertised.
appliances, laptops, whatnot, and then we'll probably see we'll definitely see Apple sometime in September. The rumor is the 12th, but we don't know yet. But
I thought there was all that suspicion about getting delayed, though.
I don't think that's well. I think the
What, for
event's still
Apple?
going to happen on time. Whether or
The
not
release date is what's up in the air.
yeah, even then, I think they're going to like meet the release date, but you'll probably have severe supply constraints, so no one will be able to buy their phone.
Sure.
Which they'll play to their benefit.
Yeah, they'll be like, it's so popular that it's
Worth
sold out
it.
in 10 seconds.
But yeah,
Like the new Super Nintendo Classic from yesterday, it's sold out in 30 seconds. On every single, or the pre-order is sold out in 30 seconds.
Yeah, Nintendo's being jerks.
just get a
Yeah,
Raspberry
I know.
Pi,
I'm
yo.
sorry. I love Nintendo, but they're kind of being jerks right now.
And I think it is a supply issue with Nintendo for sure. It's
Yeah,
not,
they knew better.
It is not a supply issue. There's no way.
They're intentionally keeping the supply
Yeah.
low. That's what I'm saying.
they're basically treating these like this, like the way that Nike treats Jordans.
Yeah, which sucks.
It's like a collector's
Except I don't
item
really
now.
care about Jordan, so it doesn't matter to me.
All right, that's probably the perfect place. Ironically, somehow, I don't know, but
With Jordans?
we've been hanging out for a long time, and a lot of people have been following all day with Mr. Tong out in San Francisco. and
Yeah.
all of our fantastic coverage coming from the floor. So let's shut up Samsung for a while
Until tomorrow morning.
until tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we'll have Jessica Dulcourt, our actual Galaxy Note 8 expert, to answer
Unlike us
all
jokers.
What are you
questions.
talking about?
She'll be able to answer not only Galaxy Note questions, but essential phone questions. She'll be basically any phone question you want to throw. You should save them for Jessica.
All right,
Hopefully
you
she
wanna-
goes on. Now that we've teased her,
Yeah.
she's gonna at the last minute like, no, sorry.
I'm sick.
Do you wanna call this
Go
one?
for
or-
it, dude.
Yeah.
us
Do
home.
it, man. Bring us home.
Bring it home, Ben.
All right. 359 is available on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, SoundCloud, FeedBurner, and Google Play Music, and of course,
At CNET.
CNET.com.
.com.
Thanks everybody
wait,
for
what?
watching.
What? CNET.com. Oh.
thought
Did I
it-
get the URL wrong the whole time? I just typed CNET.
All right, I'm out of here.
Thanks, everybody. Happy Samsung Day.